Coming up on the Fish Hunt Forever podcast.
I found myself in a stand on a cold front in October and a new moon thinking about muskies, and then I'd get in the boat and I'd be thinking about deer.
Asking to put a mermaid statue with a human face.
For making sure that our body parts are shipped.
This is the Fish Hunt Forever podcast, formerly Sporting Journal Radio, presented by OnX. Know where you stand with OnX.
All right, welcome to the show. I'm Bret Amundsen. That's Dan Amundsen. As you can see, we're tired.
I got something in my eye. But you can't see that if you're listening to it.
Oh, right.
Because, you can't, I can't see anything right now either. But
if you're listening to this on the radio or downloaded it, yes, you can't see anything. But if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, you can see that Dan and I are still on the road. We were at Eau Claire last week for the Aglow conference, which was great. We interviewed a few people while we were there. We're going to hear from Mari Bodensteiner this week on the show. She's with Space Trailers. They're down in Red Wing, Minnesota.
That's right.
Also, Dan Donovan from Muskie Fool. He's in Madison, Wisconsin, I believe.
Sure.
Something like that. Spends a lot of time chasing big fish. As you can see, it is fall.
But if you're listening to this, you can't see it.
Leaves are falling all over the place right now. I'm just going to assume people are watching this on video because they want to see how cool we are and where we're at.
I've looked at our numbers. I'm going to assume they're not.
We do all right.
I know more people listen than watch.
We've got a lot to get to. We've been on the road a lot. There's been very little sleep. We were in Eau Claire for the week for Aglow. Then we came home for the Minnesota Duck Opener, which turned out to be more than the Duck Opener. We'll talk about that here in a second. And then we traveled north to Saskatchewan to chase waterfowl once again, see some friends of ours. And we've already got a couple of days of hunting under our belt. We got on them right away. Pretty crazy.
We're eating a lot of snow geese the next few days.
Pretty crazy. Filming for the Fish Hunt Forever YouTube channel. We'll tell you more about that. But first, Dan, who are the sponsors this week on the show?
Lake of the Woods Tourism. Lake of the Woods is the walleye capital of the world. Plan a trip for this fall or winter at lakeofthewoodsmn.com. OnX Hunt, see private land boundaries, offline maps, and more. Take 20% off. A new membership with code SJR20. Haybell Heights Campground and Resort. Fish Devil's Lake out of a snow bear this winter at Haybell Lights. Haybell Heights. Learn more at haybellheights.com.
Nailed it.
Tasman Lake Lodge caught world record lake trout and giant pike at Saskatchewan's Tasman Lake. Learn more at tasmanlake.com. Prairie Sportsman, the new season is over, but watch episodes anytime at the Prairie Sportsman YouTube channel. And Trails End Outfitters Trophy Bear, Walleye, and Whitetails in Saskatchewan. Learn more at trailsendoutfitters.com.
So we're going to do some headlines right now, brought to you by Trails End Outfitters, guided whitetail, black bear, and open water fishing on Saskatchewan's Tobin Lake.
It's almost like I just said that.
Also, hard water fishing as well in the winter. Yes, I am repeating it because we are giving them this sponsorship.
I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, no, I know. Anyway, trailsendoutfitters.com, our good friend Barry Prawl will take care of you up here in Saskatchewan. So DNR is talking about doing that year-round bass deal, right?
That's not an official thing yet?
So they're asking for input on new fishing rules that would allow for a year-round bass season that includes a period for harvest and a period for catch and release. The proposed expedited rules would adjust the inland waters fishing regulations by creating a year-round bass season. Portions of the year would be catch and release only. I thought it was also a new rule. If this is enacted, it would go into effect for the 2026 fishing season. So the input will start now, or is going now through Thursday, October 23rd. So if you don't like it, I can't imagine anybody's going to vote against this thing.
So it must have happened. It must have got signed into legislation, which then gave the DNR the power to enact it. So now
public input.
They're going to get that done, which, yeah, that'll happen. I mean, nobody keeps bass anymore. Maybe 4 people keep bass. Or if you're starving to death in the boundary waters. That's about it.
Yep. For sure. All right. Fall turkey season opens Saturday, October 4th through Sunday, November 2. Dan, you can shoot hens with a crossbow.
You can shoot hens with anything you want. Yeah. Well, not a rifle, but
yeah. Cisco and whitefish sport netting will open up on northern Minnesota lakes. About 700 Minnesotans participate in this. It's fun. It's kind of cool. We did that with Jason Markland, his dad, and filmed it for an episode of Prairie Sportsman. You can find that on YouTube and check that out. I was trying to see when that actually opened. That they did not put the date in here, so it might be open already.
Great writing. The season's going to open. We're not going to tell you when, but it's going to open.
Regulations. You got a phone. check it on your phone, as they say. We're up here in Saskatchewan. We've had a chance to hunt snows for a couple of days now. Dan, the first day, it seems like every time we come up here, the first day is always kind of like, let's just go hunt and we'll figure it out.
Well, now in hindsight, I'm learning that was your mindset. That wasn't exactly mine. That's what we did.
It's what we did. It's a nice way to just kind of work out the kinks, get the decoy trailer kind of set up.
Messy.
yeah. By set up, I mean messy. And, figure out what's working, what's not, and just kind of be out there, sit out there in the field. And we had a giant feed of snow geese. We got up here. We drove all day, drove all night. We got up here at about 3 a.m., slept for 3 hours, went out, started scouting right away at 7, and found a big feed. They were already in the field early. So we kind of sat on them, thinking they'd maybe go to the water at lunch. They never did.
Yeah, they decided to do a snow goose thing, and so we decided to do a really weird snow goose hunter thing.
We thought we'd bump them out of the field, set up, and then hunt them as they came back. Instead, they just got up and split up into 2 feeds on the north end and south end of the field. And we just set up in between them and basically ran traffic on the 2 feeds in the same field.
Yeah, and we laid in whites. Every year we come up here, we always joke about we should just try it. Just for fun, it'd be cool if it works. And this year we actually did it, and I think I got that bug out of my system.
We probably could have used more cover for laying in whites, and we didn't, I just had 1 white suit, so you wore the bibs, I wore the jacket, so we kind of punted on that.
Yeah, which I also tripped over terribly, which I think we've forgotten about that.
Oh, I laughed.
I know. I wonder if that's on camera anywhere.
Very hard. But at the end of the day, we shot 26 snow geese.
Yeah, not bad for 2 guys and a shot in the dark. Well, shot in the daylight because we hunted in the daylight.
Yeah, from setting up at 3 o'clock, hunting from, 3 to 7, I suppose, or 3 to sunset, whatever it was. And we passed on a lot of birds because they were working kind of funny. But we still, that was a pretty good day of shooting snow geese when you look at it.
It was a cool, unique hunt, I should say. I'm not going to say that was one of my favorites. I've had better days. I was very uncomfortable the entire time.
Yeah.
Didn't get the greatest footage, so I don't know how much of that you're going to see if you're looking to watch that on YouTube. But today made up for it. We were comfortable, and we had a way better day.
Oh, my gosh. Well, what a difference, just being there in the morning. First of all, being there before they show up in the field.
Yep.
So when they're coming out to feed, and we found that early in the season like this, and when snow goose go to a feed, a lot of times they're all coming at once. And it's usually kind of frustrating because you get one maybe really big spin, which is always kind of neat. But it can be a one and a done type situation. So we set up today. And the beauty of it is when they started coming, and they actually did come in some smaller groups today, which was nice, but they came very, very early. So you were out there in the field. We dropped off stuff. I went to park the truck. I'm walking back on the road, getting ready to head out into the field, and I hear, wah, 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 wah. And I'm like, oh boy, they're going to be dumping in on Dan before it's shooting light.
Yep, they did.
Yeah.
They sure did. And they just kept coming. And watched them land. We filmed it. You were laying out there. Finally told you just to show up because we had a lot of geese coming. They didn't want to leave, and that's the beauty of A, birds that are really, really fresh, and B, the dark light. They can't see, and so I sat there with my blind doors wide open for a long time. Just sat there filming as geese landed right in the decoys. I'd see the white decoys stick. Probably looks like a spotlight to them with their super duper bird eyes.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, something like that.
The science guy returns.
Wow. I think the science guy got cut out of our first try on this show. So,
Anyway, we had a great couple of hunts. The second one was unreal. It was just the 2 of us, and we shot our birds, and could have shot so many more geese. I don't know how many geese. We landed hundreds. I don't know. We probably landed thousands of geese.
Probably.
In the decoys. There were so many big flocks that we passed up on, and we just kind of looked at each other and were like, let's just film this one. This is good. It is a lot of birds, and you try not to educate a lot of snows, but we're also in a field that these snows have been eating all the grain out of this farmer's field and doing some damage, and he's like, I need them out of there. I need them gone. I'm sure he would have preferred if we shot a few more of them.
Yeah, probably.
But legally, we could not.
There's rules to play by.
So we got them out of there, though. We had a great hunt. There was another group hunting close to us. We probably pushed birds back and forth to each other. It kind of worked out well. So that one was a fun one. We got a really cool video maybe 2 coming to the Fish Hunt Forever YouTube channel, and then we're going to be up here for a while yet. So there's a good chance that we have more hunts planned or coming to that channel. So good times.
Absolutely.
Well, we should mention this real quick too, because in between this, we came back from the Aglow conference last week in Eau Claire, which was a great time. Had a lot of fun over there. Rushed home because we had a house full of people coming for the Minnesota Duck Opener. It's kind of become a little bit of a tradition for us back home.
Yeah, when I can convince you to actually go hunt it.
Well, it's usually 80 degrees. You know, there's some teal around. Sometimes there's some mallards around or wood ducks, but it's usually not. It's better fishing weather than it is hunting weather. But your dad comes out. Sometimes my dad comes out. This time, both my parents came out. Your brother's or your uncle Steve came out.
Yep.
And we had some other buddies in town. We talked about all hunting together. It became kind of a big thing. And then a lot of times we'll just come back and grill and have some beers, whatever. So that was kind of the plan. When we pulled into the driveway, there was a bit of a surprise there waiting for me.
You had no idea, but
idea.
You probably have trust issues now with all your friends.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I had those long ago.
No, I think they're worse now because we got your mother to lie to you.
That's maybe the biggest thing. Like my mom, I don't know if she's lied to anybody in her life. Maybe not.
Oh.
She had some deceit going on, mother. I did not expect that from her. I was happy that she was going to come out and get to spend some time with her. And here there's a whole birthday party planned.
We got a lot of the community out there, and we had a lot of fun. We did a lot of trap shooting, target shooting.
Yeah.
Had some great food grilled for us, and hung out for quite a while. Played some giant Jenga.
Yeah.
Did all sorts of fun things, and it's a nice way to hang out for a weekend.
And I know you had a lot to do with that, so thank you, Dan. You did a lot of work. I know it was kind of stressful for you. And
yeah, truly, I never want to do it again.
Tony Crotty was probably spearheaded this thing, so thank you, Tony. And then there's a whole long list of other people that helped out, helped set up, helped donated some tables and chairs to the event. And then a bunch of people put in for a new shotgun for me.
Yep.
I still don't have that list of who all those people were. And I guess there's a Facebook group where people have been in. I haven't been able to access any of that. So there's a lot of people. I invited
you.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh, I haven't seen it. There's a lot of people that I need to thank that I haven't yet. So if you're wondering why I haven't, it's just because I don't know who you are yet. So thank you very much, and thank you, Dan, and thank you, Tony, and everybody that was part of that. It was a great time, and probably stayed up a little too late and partied respectfully enough. And then packed up and headed to Saskatchewan.
Yep. We loaded the trailer Sunday afternoon and made our way out of town on Monday. And it took us a while longer. We had to stop in Fargo and get some shells and mail some. No, we didn't mail anything.
No, I had to cash. We had to go to the bank.
And we ended up at a Kinko's somehow, which I haven't been to a Kinko's in years.
Well, we had to print off our gun license.
Yeah, that's
forms,
what it was.
And my printer was out of ink.
Yeah, we went to Kinko's. Honestly, when you said, we'll just go to Kinko's, in the back of my head, I'm like, I wonder if they're still in business. And they are.
For sure,
Good for them.
And they're, I think it's thriving. They were busy when I was there. And if anybody is friends with me on Snapchat or Instagram, you probably saw a picture that I posted from Kinko's and FedEx, Kinko's in Fargo, and it was the box just said human specimen or something on it.
Exempt human specimen. Yep.
Yeah, and it was being shipped. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what that was, but
it's usually just somebody has to submit blood or something like that for a lab test.
Well, I wouldn't expect that at Kinko's.
Well, you got to get a box for it.
Well, it was also FedEx. So
chances are, FedEx ships.
Well,
if it fits, it ships for a low flat rate.
Thank you for all of that, FedEx Kinko's, for making sure that our body parts are shipped successfully.
They weren't shipping body parts.
They might have been.
I doubt it. I don't think somebody's had a finger.
You don't know. It might have been 3 fingers. Could have been a foot.
We're in Canada. That's meters.
That's right. All right. We're going to talk to Mari Bodensteiner from Space Trailers. Now, this is it's not a brand new company, but it's a relatively new trailer company in Minnesota. It was started by a couple of guys, I think in Waconia. Excuse me. Mari will tell the story about all of that, and one of them invented rollerblades.
That's right.
pretty wild. So these are kind of neat trailers, and you don't need a lot of space to store them, which is, I think, partly where the name comes from. So we're going to learn a little bit about this Minnesota company, plus Dan Donovan from Muskies. We'll talk muskie fishing in Wisconsin, and chasing around those big toothed critters with fly gear. It's all coming up. And Joe Henry. Joe Henry's with us, too, with a Lake of the Woods report. And they have a destination for the 2027 Aglow Conference finalized. We'll tell you all that and more coming up.
Sick of eating tag soup? It's time to own your odds this fall with OnX Hunt, the GPS hunting app trusted by millions of hunters. Now you'll have access to nationwide public and private land ownership information, waypoints, optimal wind for each stand, tracks, and much more. All at your fingertips. Go to onxmaps.com/hunt and use code SJR20 at checkout to receive 20% off your membership. That's code SJR20.
All right, time to check in with Joe Henry from Lake of the Woods Tourism. Joe, how's it going?
Hey, Bret. Welcome. I should say welcome back, but actually you went home and then you went north. Is that right?
Yeah, got home from Eau Claire, and Dan wanted to rush home from Eau Claire from the Aglow Conference real bad, which we had family coming in. I had a full house coming in for the duck opener, which isn't really uncommon for us, although my mom doesn't always come out for that. And then one of Dan's other uncles came out for it, which, again, not uncommon for the Minnesota duck opener. It's kind of been a tradition to come out and hunt western Minnesota for that. And then we got up in the morning and we kind of made plans to join up with a bunch of other buddies to hunt Saturday morning. Again, not that uncommon. And then we all said, hey, let's go back to your house, grill some food, have a beverage or two. And again, not that uncommon. And as I'm driving down my road, I see a congrats graduation sign on the end of the driveway. Congrats, grad 25. And I'm like, what is going on? So if you've seen the video of me pulling into the driveway, which is all over social media, and I have a very confused look on my face, if you're wondering what that was all about, it's because as I pull into my driveway, there's a congrats grad sign in the driveway, and then trucks and cars parked everywhere, a tent and balloons and all this stuff. We'll hear Dan and my friend Tony Crotty and a whole bunch of other people. Maybe you were in on that too, Joe. I have no idea. There was a number of people. There was lots of subterfuge, deceit, chicanery, shenanigans. There were many things, but it was a great time. It was a surprise.
You're using the word I don't even know.
I had no idea. I guess I didn't expect anything. Birthdays are birthdays, whatever. And I didn't, we were all planning to get together anyway for the duck opener. So it just caught me by surprise, and it was a good time. So then we did that, and that took all day Saturday, and then watched the early Vikings game on Sunday, kind of hung out. A bunch of people stayed at my place, and we hung out, watched that, and didn't hunt. Had plans to, didn't do it, and then basically started packing up and headed north of the border right after that to go on this annual snow goose trip or waterfowl trip that we do up here. So there was very little sleep, and lots of running around, and I'm running on fumes right now for sure, Joe Henry.
Well, you know what? Congratulations. I should wish you a happy 60th birthday. And,
I'm old. I'm not that old.
Sorry, it's 50th. But, I did see the video, and you promised that those guys fabulously.
Yeah, they did a great job. I can't thank them enough for all the work that they did. And apparently that there was lots of lying and manipulation going on for weeks prior to this event. So I'm impressed that they were able to pull it off without me finding out. There was a couple of moments looking back on it where there was a couple of slip-ups, but I did not expect it, so I didn't see it coming. So the only thing that would have made it better, Joe, is to catch a 30-inch walleye on my birthday.
If you want to catch a big fish, you have to go where the big fish are. And
right.
I know a guy that made an AI song about that once for the SJR 500. I won't mention any names. Our walleye has been so good, and the weather is so nice. Our water temps aren't getting warmer fast they normally would be. I'll tell you what, as far as the bite goes, the bite has been excellent. And there's more and more walleyes moving into the river, as well as some shiners. But I mean, that bite in the main lake is excellent. We got airboats and anchoring up and vertical jigging and catching limit after limit, and it's just been really good. All right, fish, certainly getting our nice heaters.
Hang on one second, Joe. You're cutting out on us a little bit, but it sounds like the weather's been really good. The shiners have been moving into the river, and a jig bite out on the main lake has been really good. Did I get that right?
Well, you did get it right, and about 27 feet of water, give or take, and I mean to the point where charter boats are letting 14 and 15 inch fish go and just focusing on their 17 and 18.
Well, that's perfect. If you can have a limit of those take home, I mean, don't get me wrong, 15 and 16 inch walleyes taste great too, but those right under that slot limit, it's nice when you can get a bunch of those in the cooler when they're out there at Lake of the Woods. And that's one thing to think about. We talk so much about the waterfowl season when it comes to late September and early October because we're big proponents of pushing the season back. And part of that reason is because it seems like we've had extended falls. We've had some drier, warmer seasons, it seems like. And that first part of October, my gosh, we've seen 80 degrees that first week in October many times in the last, 5-6 years or whatever it's been. And why not? We always joke about it. When we talk about that waterfowl tradition opener in Minnesota and everybody comes out, it's always so warm that I usually tell people we should just go fishing. I mean, we can duck hunt, and we will because the season's open and we enjoy it, but it's almost better to go fishing. Like, fall fishing can be really good, and it's, the weather is beautiful that time of year still, it seems like, and almost too warm for duck hunting. So I think people should start thinking about fishing a little bit more at the beginning of October, late September.
Yeah, it's a good idea. One thing I'll say is that, when we have these warm falls, our water temperature doesn't get cold necessarily like it normally would. But, the days are still getting shorter. That's very consistent. And, fish recognize that. So some of the same patterns are kicking in. And right now, one of the patterns for fishing on Lake Woods is that, those fish, oftentimes good congregations of those fish will move to the south shore of Lake of the Woods, and areas like, Lighthouse Gap, Pine Island, Morris Point Gap, Zipple Bay, Long Point, Twin Islands, and then, of course, the Northwest Angle has been hot all year. I mean, with all the islands up there and all the structure, there's many, many spots to fish. But it's just been a really, really good year of fishing, and the fall is no different. In fact, it's kind of cool, too, because some of the guys are already talking about the way these fish are setting up along the South Shore. It's going to be really good early ace fishing.
I heard old Willie, the walleye there, is getting a makeover.
Yeah, well, for those who didn't hear, the radical group that has to do with fishing and wildlife, they sent a letter to the mayor of Baudette asking to put a mermaid statue with a human face right next to Willie Walleye, and they want to put a sign in there that basically says, "With a beautiful face like this, would you eat it?" And it's so radical that it kind of reminds me of when Governor Tim Pawlenty got a letter to stop, walleye harvest in the state of Minnesota. He took his wife out for a walleye dinner that evening. I mean, it's off the wall. And of course, people of Baudette and Lake of the Woods County just shook their heads and said, "You know what? This is our way of life, and this is our right, and we're going to continue to do it naturally."
That was PETA that sent that?
Yes, it was. Yep.
Yeah, unreal. Well, this can be a good time. It's a bit of a transition time for the resorts up there. I know they've had a they've had a busy summer, and they're gearing up for an even busier ice fishing season. That hard water season up at Lake of the Woods is such a big deal nowadays. It's probably a good time to start thinking about getting some dates locked in for that, isn't it?
It is. I mean, especially if you have certain weekends that you want to get locked in. If you have certain resorts that you want to make sure you get your dates in, it's a good time to plan now with friends and family and get some dates on the book. And, I'll tell you the other thing, too. I mean, October and some walleyes, and it's really that good, right? Whether you bring your own boat or whether you want to charge. There's a lot of things to consider, but to your point, I'm a big advocate of planning and get the basic you want and staying where you want as well. And now is a good time to do that.
Well, Joe, if people want to think about getting a trip planned to Lake of the Woods, or think about doing some fall fishing up on the Rainy, or what we should mention is, we touched on it a little bit, but a glow. If people want to become a member of a glow, they should probably think about joining that as well at glowoutdoors.com. And as we saw at our last conference, it's just a great opportunity to rub elbows with people in the industry and meet some new people and get some new ideas. We had some fresh blood at the conference this year, some new members, and sharing some of their ideas for best practices in the outdoor industry when it comes to communications and social media and digital media and even radio and television and things like that. So consider joining a glow at glowoutdoors.com. And I
would slide this in too, Brett. If you do join a glow, the 2026 conference is going to be in Niagara Falls of New York. The 2027 conference is going to be up at Lake of the Woods, Minnesota.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's exactly why I was bringing that up, is I wanted you to mention that. And congratulations on getting that. That's going to be a great time. Any excuse we have to get up to Lake of the Woods, we're going to take it, and that's just going to be a bonus trip for us, and that'll be well, I don't know if you've discussed dates yet, but I assume that'd be kind of around this time of year, probably.
Yeah, it'll be the last week of September 27th, and it's perfect because the grouse hunting will be good. There'll be some leaves up the trees. Duck hunting's open. Certainly fishing, both in the river and the lake, will be excellent, and there's so many great opportunities. We back in 2008 and also in 2017, and really, what we're doing is we're bringing a new school in the outdoor industry up to Lake of the Woods. We're bringing outdoor media from across the country, leaders from outdoor companies, conservation organizations like the American Sport Fishing Association, Ducks Unlimited, Whitetails Unlimited, and on. But and then, of course, outdoor destinations that are also welcome. They bring all these groups together, and is made, and it's mutually beneficial for everybody.
All right, Joe. Well, we're losing you just a little bit, so I apologize for the connection, and for those of you watching and listening, we apologize for a little bit of audio connection issues there. But I think we got everything that you said. And if people want to get a trip planned to Lake of the Woods, what should they do?
Check out our website, and that is lakeofthewoodsmn.com.
Lakeofthewoodsmn.com. Joe, thank you very much.
If you want to catch a big walleye, go where the big walleyes are. Lake of the Woods is the walleye capital of the world, with a variety of resorts and lodging facilities offering full-service fishing. Lake of the Woods is also home to sturgeon, sauger, perch, trophy pike, muskie, smallmouth bass, burbot, and more. Plan your trip to Lake of the Woods today. Go to lakeofthewoodsmn.com. That's lakeofthewoodsmn.com.
All right, Mari Bodensteiner joins us right now here on the show. Did I get it right?
You did. That's correct.
Very good. Space trailers.
Yes.
We're at the Aglow conference here in Eau Claire. I want to talk to you about space trailers, what they are.
Excellent.
And I wanted to have you on too because you're from Minnesota.
Yes.
All right. What are space trailers? Where are you guys based?
Yeah, so I'm from Red Wing, Minnesota, born and raised there. Grew up in Red Wing on the back channels of the Mississippi. And space trailers moved to Red Wing in about 2020. So it's always been a Minnesota-based company. It started back in 2009. There were two brothers in Waconia that loved the outdoors. They loved fishing, hiking, biking, camping. And they didn't want to sacrifice their fuel-efficient car for their gear, right? They didn't want to have to make choices every weekend of what they're going to do. They wanted to bring it all. So they set out to make the lightest trailer.
Okay.
And they're super cool. They're very eccentric. One invented rollerblades.
That's crazy.
Rollerblades started in Minnesota.
Okay.
And the other was a NASA scientist. So they had.
So I kind of expected these trailers just to be like 4 wheels in the middle.
Yeah.
You know.
Right? That would make sense. Nope, they built the best trailer they could. It's 600 pounds, so they're really made for those mid-size, small, compact SUVs. So like the Jeeps, the Nissans, the Subarus pull it really well.
So these are aluminum?
They are galvanized steel.
Okay.
So we are in Minnesota. You can leave it outside year-round, right? They're not going to rust out on you. They're built to last. So I know so many people have issues with trailer rusting out or trailer lights.
Yeah, trailer lights are a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trailers can look great until you get down underneath and look up and see that frame, and it's like, oh.
No, so our frames are all galvanized, the tongue is galvanized, the panels are galvanized and powder coated. So even when you do beat up your trailer, it's still going to last. It's not going to rust. It's built to last.
So these are smaller trailers, 600 pounds. What are you hauling with these?
Anything. Whatever you need to haul. And what's nice is it's not a camping trailer. It's not just a kayak trailer. You can haul whatever you need, right? So some weekends you might have to haul some yard work, house projects, Menards trips. But really you can do rooftop tents, which has become very popular. I think a lot of people bought the rooftop tents and were excited and then realized camping, they set up tent. Then anytime they wanted to leave, they have to pack up their tent, go hit the road, where with the trailer you can unhitch, leave your campsite set up, and then go explore in the day with your car.
You could haul your four-wheeler.
Yeah.
And then take the four-wheeler off and then hook up the trailer to the four-wheeler.
Exactly. So that's super common as well. So the canopy, it's a really durable, strong canopy on top that's easily removable. 2 people can just lift it up and off. Put your ATV in and then haul it with the ATV.
Where's the name come from?
More space. A lot of people make the outer space galaxy initial connection, but no, it's compact. They're lightweight, and you get that space you need. So you can keep the people in the car, and then have the space in the trailer. What's nice too is at home they also store vertically. So
yeah, that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
So you don't need a lot of space to store them.
Right. So you can just tilt it straight up. What's really nice too is a lot of people in the Twin Cities area might have regulations if they're in townhomes or HOA regulations. So they're able to push that into the back of their garage, save space there.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah. We've thought of it all. We've thought of it all here at
I don't think I could
Trailers.
live in an area like that where they tell you can't have a trailer in the driveway or in the yard or
nope,
whatever.
Neither could I.
Oh my gosh. I feel for you if you live in an area like that. But that is brilliant because there are a lot of people that live in places like that. Or if you live in the city, and we've probably all spent time there. When I lived in Fargo, I had a house in the city and it drove me crazy. But I didn't have a big driveway. I didn't have a big yard, and storing stuff was tough. So trying to find places for trailers. So if you've got a small area, but yet you like to get out and haul stuff or go camp or whatever, this is a great idea, especially if you don't have a big truck too.
Right.
And you want something to pull.
Yeah.
So how many years have you guys been building these then?
So we celebrated our 16th birthday in June.
16,
so it was our sweet 16. We could start driving, get on the road. Yeah. So we've been around since 2009.
How'd they changed over the years?
If you look at one of the first models, they're going to look very similar.
Okay.
There have been improvements and upgrades throughout the years. Starting with that, about 7 years ago, we changed the canopy material. So we noticed we don't really ever have issues with the trailer, but we did notice that there was a few people who had some cracking. So we made a stronger, it's a 1/4 inch HDPE polymer, UV resistant. So folks that are in, the Southwest can leave it outside. It's not going to fade. It's not going to get too hot or cold inside. And it's an all virgin solid material there.
So I'm looking at your website here, spacetrailers.com, and you had one here that we could check out. At first glance, it looks like a kind of a square rectangular utility trailer, steel sides and drop down gate on the back.
Yep.
But I'm noticing here, like, these all have covers for them too. Is that, those come standard?
So those are all standard.
Okay.
So we do have 3 different types of model. Our standard model's a high rider or a low rider. So that's an option you can choose. And the only difference, if you're on the website, spacetrailers.com, it's a solid spring leaf axle, and that spring leaf is going to be either mounted above the axle or below.
Okay.
And you're not getting any more ground clearance, but you are raising that bed higher or lower. So depending if you had a minivan or a sprinter van or a vehicle with a really low profile receiver hitch, you might want to go with the low rider.
Sure.
It's going to sit about 4 to 6 inches lower to the ground too, so it's really nice if you are lifting bikes or kayaks. It's a lot easier. That low rider sits right below my shoulder height, so I can just lift it right up onto the space bars there.
So you've got the bars on top, and then this cover. Then what's that made out of? And is that that's on? You've got like struts that.
So there's gas cylinder strut, so that kind of opens and closes. And what's really cool about the website, you can build the trailer you like. So we have standard cylinders or heavy-duty gas cylinders, depending how much you're mounting on top. So that canopy is going to open at a hinge, kind of a wedge-style canopy.
I don't see the Fundra camel pattern on your color options
That
here on the
is,
website.
I've been toying with fun ideas of starting to do some camo wraps, some vinyl decal wraps on the trailer there.
A couple of different tire options.
Yep. We have 15-inch standard black mod steel rims. If you can upgrade to aluminum, or the all-terrain tire as well.
And different tongue lengths too.
Right, so everything is customizable. So you can get the standard tongue. That's really nice if you have that 10 to 12 foot kayak or canoe. If you do have that 18 to 20 foot boat that you want to put on top, you can get the extra long tongue. That tongue will be from vehicle to trailer 6.5 feet. So with that 6.5 foot tongue, you can put the kayak or canoe on top, and it won't hang more than 4 feet off the back, which is, every state has different regulations for automobiles and trailers, but for Minnesota, that's legal on the road.
And stabilizing jacks in the back.
Yeah, especially if you have that rooftop tent, you want to see those stabilizing jacks to kind of help with some stability. You have an option of 2 in the back, or you could do a set of 4, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Tailgating is really popular as well, so having that just sitting on the back, tailgating with the stabilizer jacks help. About 2 years ago, we launched that XL model. So the XL has every upgraded feature you would want. It has a heavier axle, so our standard trailers, 600 pounds, can haul 1,000, so you get a 1,600 payload.
My next question.
Where the XL model, that's about 700 pounds, but you get a 2,300 pound carrying capacity for 3,000 payload. That also has a deeper bed, so 6-inch higher sides.
One thing we talked when you showed us the demo model that you brought out here. The first question I asked is about trailer lights. I made a joke about it because I'm currently rewiring my enclosed trailer right now. The way you run your wires is up inside the box, actually.
Yeah, and so they're all protected, and we have LED lights on the side, which is really nice, so you can see it at night. I have a little Subaru, so I can see the trailer behind me. And then you have the brake lights, obviously, turn signals, and then a license plate light as well. And so everything is braided and wrapped in plastic, and it runs up the front, around the sides. Easy to replace, but you don't really have to. Their LED is going to last a while there.
And easy to accessorize with other products and other companies.
Yeah, anything's pretty compatible. Anything you'd put on top of your car, you can put on top of the trailer. We work with a couple different companies, so we have all Thule products, Thule racks, bike racks, canoe, kayak racks, and a couple other accessories as well. So.
Rod tubes?
Yep, very common. Which I should have brought mine. I didn't even think coming here to throw mine. I had my tent and awning, and I forgot to put the rod tubes on.
Are you just camping the whole time then? Just sleeping out in the parking lot?
Not this week, but next week I will be.
So where do people buy these?
Right there. Spacetrailers.com. You can build the trailer, which is really nice when you're looking at it. You can, if you start clicking through that, you can see it change in real time. And what I love most is, as well, is you can you can see that price change as well. So let's say I want those aluminum tires, I'm going to see that price increase as I'm building it, so I know exactly what I'm getting.
So you order it there, and then it gets shipped to you, or can you come pick it up? Can people go look at them in person?
Yeah,
somewhere?
so we do have a nice little showroom in Red Wing that people can walk in and check out. A lot of people come and pick up their trailer, which is really fun for us to get to see where everyone's driving in from. Otherwise, because they store vertically, we are able to ship vertically on a pallet, so we can ship to your front door, which is really nice. When that is, the axle and wheels are on the trailer, the canopy's inverted in, so.
What companies ships a trailer? I mean, hey, the UPS guy is here.
UPS
my
is
trailer
here.
just arrived.
We have some really good shipping carrier partners that we work with, and they're really familiar with our trailer, and they know how to get it there. And typically our lead time's about 8 to 10 weeks. Every trailer's built to order. It's all custom made.
Oh, wow.
And so shipping is about 5 to 10 days, depending where you live, in the lower 48.
Well, good luck with the trailer sales.
Thank
and hopefully
you.
you've met some interesting people here this week here in Eau Claire.
First time to the Aglow conference in
Welcome.
Eau Claire. Very fun. It's been a great week so far.
Yeah. Have you learned anything?
I like to think so.
I hope so.
We met some great people, great sessions all day long, and you get to not just be sitting in sessions all week, but also out in the field and connecting and working there. So Eau Claire's a great place to be and connect at that.
Yeah, well, and you just found out about your new favorite podcast.
That's right.
So this is, if nothing else
Fish Hunt
happens.
Forever podcast.
There you go. This made the trip worth it for you.
That's right, exactly.
All right, Mari, spacetrailers.com. Welcome to Aglow.
Thank you, yes.
And thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
There we go. Nice. It's an awesome experience.
Fishing was really good. We got in a super monster bite.
That is a great way to start the trip off right there.
Chasm Lake is one of the places that has been on my bucket list for a long time, and watched every Chasm TV episode there is.
Incredible, incredible to see fish like that. Incredible to, fish water where you have the chance to catch fish like that.
Danny, that's the biggest trout you'll ever fight in your life.
Wow, this is a nice one.
Watch Tasman TV and book your trip at tasmanlake.com. Now is the time to start thinking about chasing big walleyes on Devil's Lake. Get on the fish at Haybale Heights Campground and Resort. Haybale Heights makes it easy for you to make memories on legendary Devil's Lake with guided fishing and lodging packages. Or bring your own boat and rent one of their cabins on East Bay. Haybale Heights offers a private marina, fish cleaning station, and the opportunity to relax and enjoy your bucket list trip to Devil's Lake, North Dakota. To book your trip, visit haybaleheights.com. That's haybaleheights.com.
All right, we're back here on the Fish Hunt Forever show, and our guest now is Dan Donovan from Muskies. And we didn't know who we were going to get on the show. We were just going to go start grabbing people, and we just happened to walk up. You were the first guy there, and I said, hey, let's go jump on the podcast and talk Muskies, because Dan and I fished Lake Wissota this week here in Eau Claire, and it was kind of part of this Aglow deal. We didn't really know what to expect, and we fished with a local angler. And, he's like, well, what do you want to fish for? And we're walleye guys, really. And we grew up bass fishing a little bit and pike fishing. We fished a lot of lake trout in Canada. But we really wanted to catch a muskie. And you guys had one boat side, and we put one in our boat and missed a couple of others. They're smaller ones, but it's still...
It's pretty good. Would you guys spend a half a day out there or a morning?
Yeah, 4 hours.
There you go. That's good odds.
So, we had a great day.
That's awesome.
And when it comes to muskie, everybody wants a 50.
Yeah.
But, you start talking 40s, that's still a pretty nice fish.
Sure is.
But really, anytime you catch a muskie, you're having a pretty good day. Or I always joke that muskie guides can get paid to take somebody out for 8 hours a day, and if you see a fish, you're getting a tip at the end of the day.
Pretty much.
You might wear your arms out casting big baits, but if you see one,
you can always hear they talk differently a little bit. You have a good day? Yeah, we saw 4.
Yeah.
Did you catch any? Yeah.
I always equate it to grouse hunters, like the purest rough grouse hunters. Are like, oh, I had 12 flushes. Mm-hmm. Did you pull the trigger? Never lifted the gun. It was great. Yep. It's like that. So Muskie Fool is probably a good name.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's Muskie Fool? Tell me about it.
So to make we wanted to make muskie fishing even harder. We're actually the only muskie fly fishing brand. We own a brick and mortar store, we own an e-commerce retailer, and have a media platform for kind of all encompassing. We do some of our own branded stuff, make our own products, and then have a storefront
on the north side of Madison.
Madison,
Yep.
okay.
Launched out of the COVID era, and really what it was about was we're here in Wisconsin. We're in Eau Claire. The state fishes a muskie.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are here in Wisconsin, want to catch a muskie.
Mm-hmm.
So putting all that together, I think there was a lot of folks. The fly fishing industry is actually one of the few vectors in fishing that's growing really strongly. And here in the Midwest especially. But we all have this misconception that it's, you got to go to Bozeman, Montana and catch trout to be fly fishing.
Right.
So that's why we're a full-service fly shop. We sell all sorts of equipment for bass, trout, you name it, steelhead. Customers are coming in and going on trips to Florida, all over the world. But we wanted to build something that was a little more authentic to Wisconsin, hence Muskie Full. So it's been a pretty wild ride. We'll just have served our 30,000th customer coming up here shortly.
Awesome.
And we just launched a little TV show on YouTube, so we're doing all sorts of things. You kind of have to in this industry, right?
We're everywhere.
Yeah, right.
You have to. It's funny. It's kind of a theme in this conference too, to try to show people that nowadays you can't just do this. You can't just be here. Like, we're in broadcast, we're in TV, we're in radio, we're in digital, we're in podcast. You got to have YouTube, website, social media, TikTok, even TikTok. And I hate TikTok.
Haven't jumped on that train yet.
I've been trying to avoid it. Thankfully, he does it for me, so I don't have to. But
we'll have to talk later and see what what his going rate is.
I have never gotten into fly fishing. I've done it here and there once in a while. We've filmed some TV shows trying to learn how to fly fish. And stream trout are fun. Steelhead are great. But if I was going to get into it, I always wanted to do it for big fish, pike and muskie. And I've been trying to kind of film a muskie episode. It's never really worked out. But one thing we've done up in Saskatchewan is sight fish pike, the big pike, which are kind of muskie sized up there. But we'll use spinning rods, but with streamer flies.
Oh, sweet.
So it's kind of similar, a little bit of a crossover, a little bit of a hybrid. And man, I mean, sometimes we'll throw big baits and just try to get the pike fired up, get them, if they chase, don't eat, switch rods, grab that spinning rod, flip that fly out, give her a couple twitches, and you're watching the whole thing both side. It's unreal. So I'd imagine it's, that kind of feeling, that kind of rush that you can get chasing these muskies with the fly gear.
So that's kind of what makes me tick too, that the big fish on a fly rod. I started plucking little trout out of the creeks, and that's really fun and all, but I think the challenge, it's I equate it to some folks of like it's like bow hunting for whitetails or bow hunting for elk. It's definitely easier to shoot them with a gun. But I think what you get at the end of the journey is a little bit more rewarding, and it kind of, for me at least, and I think for folks that do it, it triggers all of your senses. When you're tying those flies, usually out of whitetail deer, as you're seeing, you get really aggressive fish. And it becomes, I think, a little bit more for folks interested in the process. This is home. If you need the quick, easy win, I would not suggest signing up for muskie. But you sound like you're already halfway there.
Oh yeah, we grew up with a cabin in northwest Wisconsin on a muskie lake, and it used to be classified as a trophy muskie lake. It's not anymore. You still get some mid-40s once in a while, and I guess it's getting better from what I hear. We don't have our cabin there anymore, but from what I hear, it's getting a little bit better. But there's been some issues there. But we would catch them bass fishing a lot of times, casting for them. So I've seen some pretty nice muskies. We used to see them in the spring just laying next to the dock, and as a kid running around like, gosh, is that thing going to bite my leg off, or do I try to catch it, and of course as a kid you grab the net right away, like, I wonder if I can catch this thing, which don't do that at home, kids. Never did, but it was cool to see. I mean, they're the apex, right? And they're so unique. I used to go out. One of my favorite things to do is I'd go out in a canoe, and I'd find the biggest spoon I could find, and I'd cast out, and there was a sandbar and a big drop off, and I would just drop it all the way down to that sand, off the edge of that sandbar, and I'd just slowly bring it up, and I'd have a muskie every time come up and follow it next to the canoe. I'd never caught one, but I'd get it next to the canoe thinking, what do I do now? If I catch this fish, I'm going for a ride.
Canoe?
So they're cool, and if you you're taking one of the hardest fish to catch and using one of the hardest ways to catch them. So that's kind of the ultimate challenge.
Yep. Now you get the name.
Yeah.
We're not saying we're smarter. No, not at all. Not at all.
That's pretty cool. So do you find that a lot of your business is in Wisconsin, or are you probably you get guys from Mille Lacs or that fish
all
Mille Lacs
over.
all the time?
Almost 30% of our business is Wisconsin.
Okay.
One of the things we do is like the southern Wisconsin area didn't have a fly shop, and regardless of, most people are not fly fishing for muskies, but just we have trophy smallmouth bass. We have more trout streams than Montana, which is a fun fact most people don't know about.
That is an interesting fact.
A little bit different. We don't have the mountains, but so we didn't have a retailer to service that. And
are you referring to the driftless region?
Driftless region. Yeah, we're right on the edge of the driftless.
Yeah.
Tons of folks, I think, going up north to their cabin, fishing for smallmouth on poppers, fishing for panfish.
Oh, for sure.
We got the steelhead tributaries up and down the coast of the Great Lakes. So we do that, but we just put a little different flavor on it with the muskie thing, kind of the tip of the spear, if you will. So we get a lot of our customer base is that Great Lakes region, Minnesota, Ohio, stretching into Pennsylvania and even up to New York. But then I think we've just attracted the crazy ones all over. Folks calling us from Europe chasing world record pike in Italy. Folks going on, you hear the tarpon guys are like, I haven't been able to get them to eat on the small stuff, but I want to try some of those big musky flies. And so that's kind of been fun to see, kind of all over the place. We were surprised. We thought it was going to be just like Wisconsin and Minnesota and Michigan people, but yeah.
I mean, once you catch a big fish, you want to catch all the big fish.
That's exactly what I think it is, yeah. So they kind of, without us knowing it, they're like, well, you guys must know something about big fish. We want to work with you, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned tying flies from whitetails, using whitetails to tie flies. What parts of the hair are you using? What kind of flies are you making? How does that work?
All over. I mean, that's one of the things that first got me into it, was to take a little off-ramp into a little bit more of the spiritual realm. You're floating down these rivers with native wild muskies in them in Wisconsin, and up and down the bank are running whitetails. And here we are using white-tailed bucktails, so the deer hair off the tail, and then the belly hair and the body hair to make all these flies, whether that's a bass popper, a gigantic musky fly. So I do love that aspect, because it seems like a little bit of we're in this day and age where the technology boom of fishing is just unraveling might be the negative word, exploding in a certain way. And I think this kind of, to know that this still works and works well enough, I think I like that about it. And I think a certain type of person likes that about it. But yeah, we use pretty much most of the deer. But those deer tails, the good ones are hard to come by.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What makes a good one?
Just, they got to live through a cold and harsh winter, and it usually makes it long and fluffy and big, yeah. Yeah.
So do you look, do people donate?
They used to. Now it's like a whole industry.
Oh.
Yeah. Some weird phenomenon. So you actually have, there's a religious tradition in the Jewish, like the Hasidic Jewish, they make their hats now. These $5,000 hats. You guys are probably wondering, what is he going with this? They used to make them out of mink, and now they found this deer tail. So we used to go to the taxidermist and just be like, hey, when you're done processing, can you lob off the deer tails from me? I'll come pick up your garbage. And they were happy to see them, get rid of them.
Right.
And now it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sometimes the deer tail is worth more than the whole rest of the hide.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it's become quite cutthroat, I guess you could say.
Well, let's talk about somebody that wants to get into it. Maybe for the first time they're thinking, hey, I would love to catch a muskie on a fly rod. What's entry-level advice that you give somebody?
Probably don't do it. Yeah. Just don't ruin your life over it. No, I think you see two types of folks. The folks that have fished for muskies before, maybe like yourself with conventional gear, I think they pick it up quickly, because you don't have to explain to them how dumb muskie fishing is.
Right.
If you get a follow, it's a win. The folks that come from the trout fly fishing world takes a little bit more coercing because they're used to like, hey, we had a good day, we caught 60 fish.
Yeah.
I'm like, that would be a good year. But I think to get into it, we'll oftentimes just tell people, let's go bass fishing. Let's take you out and show you how to do this, show you how to cast a fly rod. And then you can usually pick out the person who's kind of got that twitch in their eye, who's like, they see the big fish.
It's going to ruin his bank account.
Yeah, and I think mentally you have to sign, know you're signing up for something else. Again, I equate it to like whitetail deer hunting with a bow. Every time you step in a stand, you're expecting to shoot one. I think you've misunderstood the whole process, in terms of seeing one as a win.
So do you offer any sort of, classes, any classes or any tutorials?
Yeah, tons of how-tos on our YouTube channel. We got tons of kind of how-tos on our blogs, and then we employ a couple different guides out of the northern Wisconsin area who it's really good to speed that learning curve up and just know, especially with muskies, am I at least on muskies? That's usually step one.
Yeah.
And then can I cast? Can I move the fly? And all that sort of thing. So we're kind of in our busy season. I don't know if our guides will come up from air till like November 1st because it's go time right now. Mm-hmm.
It's a tough time of year because fishing can be so good, particularly muskie fishing, but it's hunting season,
And this is why I had to set the bow down and have it. I picked up turkey hunting because it's my muskie off season, but I found myself in a stand on a cold front in October and a new moon thinking about muskies, and then I'd get in the boat and I'd be thinking about deer, and I couldn't separate it. So but I love hunters because we need all that deer hair we can get.
There you go. All right, Dan Donovan, Muskie Fool. Where do we find you online, social media?
Muskiefool.com, spelled with a Y.
Yeah. With a Y. Mm-hmm. That's a controversy.
It is. Muskie fishermen are known for controversy. I'm not sure why, but
when you decided to come up with the name, were you always a Y guy?
Born and raised in Wisconsin, so I like to think we spell it the right way here. Yeah.
All right, Dan. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, man. We'll see you around.
Thanks for listening to the Fish Hunt Forever show. Download the Fish Hunt Forever podcast wherever you get podcasts or watch on the Fish Hunt Forever YouTube channel. If you like today's show, please give us a 5-star review. Find past shows, articles, news about regulations, and more at fishhuntforever.com.